Hello, everybody. Today is Tuesday, and we are going to do some math. We're going to do a little review before we get our math page out. So the first thing we're going to do is count by 100ths, and we're going to start with 1,000. Okay? So we're going to count starting with 1,000. 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400. 1,500, 1,600, 1,700, 1,800, 1,900. Does anybody know what comes next? 2,000. Woo! If you said 2,000, clap for yourself. Good job. I also want to review perimeter. And perimeter is when we measure the outside of something. It doesn't have to be a shape, but I'm going to put a square on the board. We are going to use a shape. My blue marker's dying. Oh my. Okay. So this is my rectangle. Okay, I think I said square, but this is definitely a rectangle. Okay. All right, and let's say this side is 10 inches. This side is 12 inches. So that means this side's 10 inches too, and that means this side is 12 inches. Now, do you remember that big word? Perimeter. Okay? And there's a big glare on it, but hopefully you can see it. Perimeter. Okay? And what you do is you just measure all these sides, or I'm sorry, you add all the sides together. Okay, so I'm going to do that over here. I'm going to turn my thing a little bit. So I'm going to add 12 plus 12 plus 10 plus 10. Okay, and I said these were inches. So there's my little mark, so you know they're inches. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add them all together. 2 plus 2 plus 0 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have to label it. Put my inches down. So the perimeter of my rectangle is 44 inches. Okay? Let's get my eraser. Let's do one more perimeter real quick, okay? So how about I do a triangle? Maybe I'll be a little bit better drawing this triangle. Okay, in this triangle, let's do 6, 9, and 9. Okay, and they're inches also. I want to know the perimeter of my triangle. So I would add 9 plus 9 plus 6. So go ahead and you guys do that. And I'll wait to see what your answer is. Okay, 9 plus 9 is 18. Plus 6, you probably have to use your fingers. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, plus 1, 24. So if you got 24 inches, yay, good for you. Give yourself a big clap. All right, good job. Okay, that was just a little review. And I also want to remind you guys about rounding, okay? I got some of your math papers, and some of them look good, but on your math test, I think it was your math test, or no, your math worksheets that you had this past week, there was a number, 25, okay? And you had to round that number to the nearest 10. So let's say, let's make a hill, okay? And 9 is here, and 1 is here, and 5 is here on the top of the hill, okay? So all the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to go back down your hill. Everything 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, whoop, you're going to go that side of the hill. Okay? So if you have a 5 in the one spot and you're on top of this hill there, you're going to go way down that hill and you're going to round it to 30. Instead of 9, maybe I should have 10 there. That makes more sense. Okay? So anytime you have a 5, you're going to go woo to that side of the hill. Okay? 1 to 4, you're going to go back down to this hill. And let me put a 0 down there. Okay? Does that make sense? So 0 plus 4 gets rounded down. 5 to 10 gets rounded up. Okay? All right, little quick review. All right, I want you to get your math page out 300. And it looks like this. And our focus today is going to be making change with dollars and cents. And that's basically subtracting money. Okay? And that subtracting money is going to be on your math test this Friday. And gotta get my eraser. What I want you to remember, and this is also something I've noticed on your math worksheet pages, is that you guys are forgetting to your dollar signs, okay, and decimal points, okay? So that's very important, especially on your test. All right, I'm going to read a story problem to you. Okay, it says, Claire decided to buy a jigsaw picture puzzle of the Grand Canyon. The puzzle cost $5.65. If Claire gave the clerk $10, how much change did she get back? Okay, so we can find out how much change she got back by subtracting $5.65 from $10. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write that on the board. Let me put my book down. So she gave the clerk $10. And the puzzle cost $5.65. So we need to figure out how much change that she got. So we are subtracting. Now it's just like regular subtracting. Remember we had all these zeros before that we were subtracting with? But there's decimal points and dollar signs now. And don't let that throw you off, because it's throwing you guys off. Okay? Bottom, bigger, borrow. 5 is definitely bigger than 0. Okay? So this guy's got to go next door. That's a 0. Go next door again. That's a 0. So he has to go over here to the 1. That 1, we're going to take 1 away. So that becomes a 0. Bring that 1 over. Now that one's a 10. Now we go over again. That's a 0. Now that's a 10. We can borrow from him. We're going to cross that out. Make it a 9. And then now that's a 10. Okay, we have to remember 1 house at a time. Okay, so now this 0 can borrow from that guy because now he's a 10. So I'm going to cross him out. He becomes a 9. And now he's a 10. Okay? So 10 minus 5, or sometimes I say 5 from 10, is 5. 6 from 9, or 9 minus 6, is 3. Look, there's a decimal point. Don't forget your decimal point. Okay, that's all you have to do. Okay, just bring that decimal point down. Okay, and then keep subtracting. Okay, 5 from 9, or 9 minus 5 is 4. And remember to stay lined up. And then we hit this guy's a 0. So if you want to bring it down, you can, but eventually we got to learn to get rid of that 0. And then dollar sign. So $4.35 is the change that she should get back if the clerk knows what they're doing. And they do. So that's the change, okay? That's called making change. And somebody is beeping and texting me, and it's Miss Gungampo. She says hi. All right. So when you do your math page 330 in pencil, Alex, that's what you're doing. And make sure you're showing your work so I can see it, okay? Now, I'm going to move down to number 3, because number 3 is, I don't think we've done something like that before, okay? You guys know what it looks like. I don't know why I show it to you on the video, but okay. We're going to do the first one together, because we've done this with our dot cards, but we've never done it with multiplication and division. So this is something new. So the first one, there's a 2, a 5, and a 10 in that circle, okay? And it wants us to do 2 multiplication problems and 2 division problems. So the first one is just like our combination dot cards. To addition, to subtraction. Now we're doing it with multiplication and division. Okay, so the first one, well, I know that 2, my marker's dying, 2 times 5 equals 10. Now remember, you're only using these 3 numbers, okay? The next one, you just switch those numbers around. 5 times 2 equals 10. Okay? Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. Okay, now we put our answer over here, the 10. 10 divided by 2 equals, remember, we're only using these 3 numbers, 5. Okay? And then the last one, put the 10 there again. 10, let me move this down. 10 divide, we already used 2. We already divided the 10 by the 2. So now we have to divide the 10 by the 5. 10 divided by 5 equals 2. Okay? So that's how you do the first one on number 3. I want you to go ahead and try the next one on number 3. We've done 3 multiplication, but we haven't done 4, so they're moving a little bit ahead here. But you don't need to really know 3 and 4 multiplication or 12 division. I just want to be able to see that you know how to set it up like this, okay? You're using only 3, 4, and 12, okay? It's just like the dot cards that we used to do. Okay, so go ahead and try your best on that, and you guys will see me tomorrow on the next math video. Okay, bye.